season 3 of Heartstopper is out, and I figured that I would just quickly catch up. I don't know if I'm going to see season 3 because I thought that season 2 was a bit filler, to be honest. It wasn't my favorite. If I do tune in for season 3, it's going to be for the 2 teachers and Nick's mom, basically. Anyway, onto the video. In episode 1 of season 2, Charlie is beaming as Nick texts him. Nick tells Charlie that he came out to his mom last night and she was very accepting. They make out at school, they kiss at home, they play video games, and God, I'd forgotten how adorable these kids were. Also, once again, please Netflix, can we get a Radio Silence TV show? Anyway, Elle and Tao are still secretly crushing on each other. Nick still isn't out to the public yet, but it seems as though he wants to be. He seems ill at ease with keeping it a secret, and he almost comes out to Imogen at one point. He sits next to Ben, who is hating the silent treatment. Now remember, these two were friends, but Ben, who is still in the closet, he was terrorizing Charlie while secretly hooking up with him. Well, yeah. Anyway, Charlie also joins the rugby team for some reason. The 2 lesbian girls, who are also friends with Elle, Tara and the other one, they say to Elle that she should flirt with Tao and see what he does. And she compliments Tao's hair, and he gets a little bit flustered. He later helps her with her homework, and they have a moment where it seems as though they're about to kiss, but he gets cold feet, so it doesn't really happen. These two are, they're doing the dance. Charlie gives Nick a Cadbury's chocolate bar for their 2-month anniversary. Nick is really wanting to come out at this point, even though Charlie assures him that there's no pressure. Nick is supposed to come out to Imogen, because she kind of has a crush on him and things have been weird, but he kind of doesn't do it, and Charlie assures him that there's no pressure. Nick almost looks constipated by keeping the secret in. He's about to tell Imogen, but she guesses it anyway, and they hug. It's really cute, and she admits to him that she actually has a crush on Ben now. Bully Ben. Oh no, Imogen. When the kids are all leaving Charlie's, Nick finally kisses him in front of everyone. Well, the little friend group, I mean. Charlie tells his parents that Nick is his boyfriend now. And obviously his dad is like, well, now the door's going to have to always be open in your room. There'll be no hanky-panky in this house. I love that his parents are, they're not completely out of touch, but they're still parents. And Charlie's mom says that, well, I thought that Nick was a rugby lad, so she just didn't suspect he was gay. It's all well-meaning though, even though Charlie's mom is a little bit harsh sometimes. Charlie's utterly adorable sister checks in on him, and she worries that they might be bullied, but he assures her that they won't be. More of the sister, please. In episode 2, Charlie's marks are slipping badly, and his parents are concerned that Nick is a distraction. They cannot go to each other's houses anymore until Charlie finishes his coursework essay. Even though Nick is out to his mom, his brother David is back from uni, and he's pretty bro-y, teasing him for not having a girlfriend yet. Nick is not comfortable coming out to him, obviously. Who would be? And his mom assures him that she won't say anything. Tao texts Elle to hang out and so that they can do art together. She says that she has some school things, which isn't a lie. So she says no, she declines. Ben, who seems a little bit jealous and left out in the cold, tells Nick that he's the same as him because he also doesn't want to come out of the closet. So him and Charlie are also a secret. The boys sneak out and meet in the park, and Nick gives Charlie a sweater and they kiss. Oh, seeing Nick feel at ease is really nice. And Nick even posts a photo of Charlie and his dog Nellie on his Instagram. Anyway, they have to sneak to the park because Charlie is pretty much grounded. Elle makes some friends at her art school thing. She meets another trans girl named Naomi, and Tao is low-key Instagram stalking her and brooding. He's worried about her going away to art school next year, which is really far away. Nick has a bit of a panic during his GCSE maths exam. Charlie goes to cheer him up after the exam goes pretty terribly. Tao comes over to Elle's house and he obviously misses her. He says that he's been a bit weird, but he wants to hang out. She says that she's going to a party with Naomi and Felix then. He wants to hang out on the weekend, but she says that she's quite busy. I actually do think she's making the right move here because she's not aware of the fact that Tao feels the same for her, and she's just protecting herself and taking a little bit of distance, which is good. It's healthy. It's a pity that there's a little bit of a strain on their friendship for now, but I'm sure they'll be fine. David meets Charlie, and as usual, he's a bit of a jerk. He's weird and cruel about Nick. Charlie's parents notice that he snuck out and his mom grounds him for the rest of the term. If he breaks the rules, he cannot go on the Paris trip. Now, the Paris trip is the big thing this season that all the kids at school are going to. Tao is missing Elle and he's looking at her Instagram. His mom asks him if he's sad about her, and she tells him that if he's afraid of losing her, he should fight to stay by her side. Tao has the most adorable panic then to his friends, and he announces that he likes Elle and that he's going to sell her. But at the same time, he's like, help. He reminds me so much of a cartoon character. When he wears his beanie and his hair does the flip thing, he's so cute. Anyway, in episode 3, Tao, Isaac, and Charlie brainstorm date ideas for Tao so that he can tell Elle how he feels. Nick's friends, meanwhile, try to extend an olive branch. They invite him to a party in the woods. They let him know that they're not friends with the bully Harry anymore, and they know that Nick and Charlie are good friends. For a minute, it looks like Nick might say something like, no, we're more than friends, but he trips up and he doesn't say anything. The coach walks in on them, Charlie and Nick kissing, and she later tells Nick that he doesn't owe the guys an explanation, but if they do give him a hard time, Nick should come to her. I'll be honest, I don't want to keep hearing about Nick trying to come out of the closet all season long. I hope this isn't the storyline because it's making me really anxious. Tao is Googling how to ask a friend out. Both Charlie and Nick have great final exams and the GCSEs are finally over. Tara says I love you to Darcy and it's a little bit orcs because Darcy doesn't say it back. Tao dresses up and he brings Elle flowers and he tells her that he likes her romantically and he wants to take her on a date. Even the cinema that they go to is just so adorable. A guy named James invites Isaac to a party and it looks like it could be romantic, but we're not sure yet. By the way, Tao cut his hair and I mean he's a cute kid, but I miss the hair already. He holds Elle's hand at one point in the movie. It's very awkward as they try to navigate this move from friends to possibly more, and I don't know about this. I feel like there's pressure on both of their halves. They go to the party after their movie date, but yeah, the date wasn't good and Tao ends up going home. This episode is so annoying. This party is going on for so long. Nick predictably doesn't come out even though he's determined to, and he and Charlie end up going home. Charlie says that they should just postpone Nick coming out. He wants people to know that Nick is his boyfriend, but he also thinks that it's important for Nick to just come out when he's ready. Oh, Charlie. In episode 4, the kids are all going to Paris on a class trip. Nick and Charlie have to pretend that they're not dating, obviously. Shame. You can see that Charlie's having a tough time, but he doesn't put any pressure on Nick. Tao and Elle are also sitting apart, and they obviously miss each other, but yeah, they're not ready to talk yet. Nick's dad happens to be French, and he lives in Paris, and we get to hear Nick speak French on the phone. Also, poor Imogen, she seems to sense that Ben wants to look at Charlie and Nick for some reason. He also kind of shuts down her idea to do something and he calls it lame. She goes off and hangs out with Nick and Elle. She breaks up with Ben then in front of everybody and she says that she doesn't know what's going on with him, but that he's obsessed with Charlie. I also thought I sensed a vibe between the grumpy teacher and the other one. More on that in a bit. Charlie is a little bit envious because he sees Tara and Darcy being all romantic and out in the open, but he really can't be that way with Nick. Although Nick is starting to come out a little bit. Like when Charlie gets some chocolate ice cream on his nose, Nick wipes it off and licks his finger. And he doesn't like look around to see who's watching or whatever. Tao and Elle agree to just be friends and they're gonna kiss now that the pressure's off. I'm sure of it. Nick posts a photo of Charlie on Instagram. He also wants to share this, you know. The next morning while he's brushing his teeth, Charlie sees that he has a love bite on his neck. Uh-oh. In episode 5, Nick and Charlie do have a bit of a panic about the love bite. Just then Tao walks in and he's like, oh my god, how did you get a bruise on your neck? It's a really funny scene, trust me. Then Elle comes in and sees Tao without a shirt on and he panics. He's a really good comedic actor. It's so absurd. I love it. Nick packs Charlie a breakfast croissant in case he gets hungry later. I remember when Ville would do that for Simon on Young Royals. I loved it. At one point, I just think, oh my god, if Nick doesn't just stand up in this bloody bus and claim his guy and say that he's gay, I'm gonna be so bummed. Poor Charlie doesn't deserve this. Ben tells Nick that he thinks that he wants Charlie back and Nick stole him away. He didn't get a chance to work through his gayness. I'm paraphrasing, but pretty much. Tao and Elle are comfortable around each other again as friends, with a little bit more bubbling under the surface, as always. Charlie faints in the Louvre and Elle and Tao finally kiss. It's very cute, and the timing is perfect because I love a good slow burn as much as the next person, but had this gone on any longer, it would have dragged. So I'm happy. It's clear that Charlie has been panicking because he's stressed. Nick is there for him. In episode 6, I was so hopeful about Charlie and Nick walking hand in hand to meet his dad, but Nick unlinks their hands as soon as they approach the cafe. The two teachers are so cute. The way Mr. Farouk is so strict and over the top confident with the students, and then with the other teacher, he's all shy-like. Also, he's kind of cute, right? Anyway, they're my favorites for this season. James and Isaac are sitting outside of the party and Isaac doesn't seem like the partying type. He often has a book in his hand and he is really quiet, and James doesn't want to be teased about the rumor of him giving Charlie a love bite. They kiss, but Isaac panics and he runs off. Harry comes to the party and apologizes to Nick and Charlie in front of everybody for being homophobic, but Charlie does not accept his apology and he shuts the door. I think this is fine. Charlie doesn't need to forgive his bullies. During a game of Spin the Bottle, Nick finally comes out to everybody and he tells everybody that he and Charlie are dating and they're okay with everybody knowing it. And I don't know why, I thought it was so precious that somebody asks, would you like us to keep it a secret? You know, they're quite protective of Charlie and Nick. At the end of the episode, the teacher with the glasses and the grumpy one kiss, and it's really so cute. I mean, they're grown men, but still. In episode 7, Tao's mother is so excited that he and Elle are finally together, and she's like, let me go tell the whole family. Ben's been texting Charlie wanting to see him. Isaac tells James that he doesn't know what it feels like to have a crush on somebody, and when they kiss, he didn't feel those crush feelings. James is like, well, you know, I guess that's fine. And later at a party, Isaac meets somebody who explains that his art is about feeling aromantic and asexual. The art and the message resonates with Isaac, who ends up being asexual or aromantic, I guess. You know, I'm such a romance junkie. I would normally find this really boring, but I don't know. I'm kind of interested because you don't see the storyline often, right? Anyway, everybody goes to Elle's art exhibition. She looks so pretty in her dress, but she's always really well dressed. Tao finds out, and not directly from Elle herself, that she's going to a school, like the art school that's going to be far away. Anyway, it's almost prom time, and it's so weird that these kids in England call it prom. Is that a thing nowadays? Anyway, Elle's big painting ends up being one of the 4 of them. Her, Tao, Charlie, and Isaac. Ben tells Charlie that he really liked him and that he just needed more time, but his parents would never accept him as gay. Charlie tells Ben that he doesn't get to ambush Charlie into forgiving him. He hopes that, you know, Ben becomes a better person, but Charlie's pretty much done. Charlie's sister tells David that he's a pathetic little man and that she'll end him if he ever talks to Charlie like that again. Darcy has been having issues at home and eventually her mother kicks her out for wearing a suit, I guess. Yeah, it's for wearing a suit. It's a really sad situation, actually. In episode 8, the final episode of season 2, Nick finally hard launches him and Charlie on Instagram and Charlie's very happy. But Nick suspects that Charlie's having an eating issue, as in he's displaying signs of an ED. Tao asks Elle if she wants to be his girlfriend, and she says yes, obviously. Charlie has been avoiding eating, and it's very obvious. Oh no. I was waiting to see Elle's prom dress, but I was so disappointed. Darcy is MIA. Nathan, oh, his name is Nathan. He invites Yusuf, the grumpy one, to the dance because they need a chaperone, but Nathan also asks him out to dinner and drinks. Tara goes looking for Darcy and she ends up talking to her mom, who tells her that Darcy had a tantrum over her outfit, and her mom says, yeah, she was dressed like a lesbian. The 2 girls eventually talk, Tara and Darcy. Nick and Charlie also take the pressure off themselves to be this couple, this out couple at prom, and all the friends decide to go home. They go to Nick's house and they all hang out together. Charlie opens up to Nick about the bullying that he experienced, and this is a little bit at Nick's urging because at first Charlie is all, no, everything is perfect, we don't have to talk about it, and he tells Nick that he used to hate himself so much he used to hurt himself. He doesn't do it anymore, but he agrees when Nick makes him promise to talk to him about things if things ever get that bad again. Nick is about to tell Charlie that he loves him, but just then Nick's mom arrives back home. I was just sobbing uncontrollably at this point, I can't lie. And at the end of the episode, Charlie's walking home and he's about to text Nick that he loves him. And that's the end of season 2, which had its bumps, but it ended really well. I'm happy. Anyway, yeah, if you have seen it, feel free to share your thoughts, and thank you for watching.